Some reason I thought it'd be a good idea to wear green against a green screen. Oh well, it doesn't matter. My green screen is legit and you could still not see anything. And yes, I am in the future if you're wondering from my background. All right, guys, today we're coming up with an interesting video. This one is called Hideme, the new WeVPN. And no, I don't mean that Hideme's CEO and various employees are all of a sudden going to just disappear into the nether realm, and the Discord is going to become a ghost town, and they're going to stop paying its affiliates, its developers, and customer support team. Go ahead and check out my website, VPNtierlist.com, where you can actually sign up and review VPNs as well. This data from your review is automatically aggregated with an algorithm into the community rankings. As you can see here, people have already done some reviews, around 10 or so, and it has a really nice interface where you can read various people's pros and cons. It also has a forum and a blog post detailing why I made this exact website. So guys, you've come to the right place. If you want honest, objective, data-driven reviews, you have my tier list. And if you want community-driven reviews, if you don't trust me, I have those as well on my website. So go ahead and check out VPNtierlists.com. Also, a funny little thing here. Well, my green screen is not as good as I thought it was. I really didn't want to have to change shirts. But anyways, here I am. So guys, WeVPN. For some reason, the website's still here. It's like a Vercel app, which is just kind of like a website that hosts applications. I'm not sure why it came back, or the Discord's still dead. But look, I'm still here as well. Just a little funny flashback to that very weird time where a VPN came out of nowhere, climbed to the top of the rankings, and then in the next year was just completely dead. Very interesting time. Very interesting time. What the hell am I talking about in this video? Why am I saying Hideme could be the next WeVPN? Well, I do believe it could be the next VPN in terms of kind of becoming very popular here on the channel. And why do I think that? Well, I do think it's going to become popular here on the channel because it is a very interesting VPN right now. Now, it's always kind of been an interesting VPN, and Hideme is one of those VPNs that does a lot of things right, and I don't think it gets that much credit for it. It really doesn't have too many weaknesses. If we take a look at the pricing, for example, it's very affordable for 1 month. It's under that $10 asking price. For 26 months, it's $70, which with my link, you get those 2 extra months, I believe. So click that link in the description down below. And no, Hideme is not sponsoring this video. And no, Hideme does not have founders or anyone who have investments in VPN review platforms, pretty much like the other VPNs here on YouTube. So you have $70 for 26 months, already a very good deal. $55 for 12 months. It's also under my $60 price point. And it even has a free plan where you can test it out and see if you like it with some limitations. So the pricing is pretty much best in industry, I'm going to be honest. For example, if you actually look at the tier list, it's the only VPN right now that has a perfect pricing score. It meets all my benchmarks for affordability. It has no limited time sales, which basically means that the pricing is pretty consistent throughout the year. You're not going to miss a sale like with a day or two like some other VPNs. There's no price increases after the first term, which basically happens with most other VPNs nowadays. Surfshark, NordVPN, ExpressVPN, even ProtonVPN has a price increase after the first term. With Hideme, that is not the case. They don't really have any price increase. I do believe if you subscribe to this and the pricing is still the same, you're going to be billed that same amount. It's not like there's an asterisk right here where it increases. Let me show you, for example. Now, ProtonVPN is actually the number 2 rated VPN here on the channel. It's a very solid VPN provider, but I'm just using it as an example here. As you can see here, billed $107 for 24 months, but I do believe that there is somewhere it says, okay, here we go. You'll be billed 12 months at $80. So yeah, it doesn't say that here. It's just all the way hidden at the bottom. And Proton does this better than some, to be honest. For example, a lot of other VPNs don't even show you on that page. They make you read through terms of service. So I think Proton could do that better, but at least Hideme doesn't have that at all. So yeah, for the pricing, that's very transparent. and good. They also have 10 simultaneous devices, so that is very nice. For, we want at least 8, so 10 is perfect. But one of the theses for this video itself, why Hideme could become the next WeVPN, is because I've reached out to the team and they seem very interested in collaborating. And that was one of the one cool things about WeVPN, is that the founders of the company and some of the higher ups, like Jason, who was the CTO at the time, which you might remember from my video with him, the cool thing about WeVPN, they're very interested in collaborating. And I think that's one reason they skyrocketed so far up my rankings, is because they're like, hey, you want this? We'll implement this. Hey, your community wants this? We'll, add this. We'll add these servers. We'll add this functionality. So that was the cool thing about WeVPN. And I do think Hideme, I've been talking with the team a little bit, and they do seem interested in having that kind of approach with my community. If you guys want something from this product, let me know. I'll let them know, or even let them know directly on their Twitter or something like that. Maybe email them, and they might implement those features. They seem very interested in the collaborative thing. And that's not something I've really had with VPNs the last couple of years. A lot of the big VPNs out there, some of the big, huge ones, they're not really that interested in collaborating with me, which kind of sucks because it feels like I'm not really doing anything. I'm not really helping these VPNs improve. I'm not really helping you guys get the features you want. So I'm really looking forward to that collaborative environment I had with WeVPN that might be able to happen with Hideme. I'm looking forward to maybe even having some other people on the channel doing interviews, learning more about them, learning more about the company itself, because that's also something that's hard to do with some of these other big companies. Now, if you guys are wondering, well, Tom, why is your opinion changing all of a sudden? Why are your rankings changing all of a sudden? Why are you promoting this VPN out of nowhere? Where I did make a blog post kind of detailing exactly my thinking behind this situation, why I am kind of changing my rankings, rethinking VPN review methodology. This is something I kind of want to do every year, but I do think it's something that is very important to the channel. I have seen other channels promoting VPNs that have investments from people that kind of run those VPNs. So that's not something I really like. I think the industry is becoming a little bit more monopolistic with VPN review channels, like I said, having investments from VPN founders. Additionally, a lot of the big media publications out there, like IGN, pretty much, they have investments, or they kind of like own IPVanish. A lot of the Cape brands too have their own blogs. And I think the VPN industry and the space itself is becoming more monopolistic. So I'm trying to kind of promote VPNs that I really do think are doing good things in the VPN space, not so much VPNs that are just becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. And I hope that makes sense to you guys. But not only that, I'm also trying to look for good products. Which VPNs are doing like very good things in terms of privacy? Which VPNs have solid fundamentals? I kind of reanalyze some of my review system. I don't know if it's as important for a VPN to have a password manager as it is to have no trackers on the website. I think the value proposition is very good for some of these big VPNs out there that bundle some of these cool things with it. But at the same time, there are a lot of other good tools out there that I like lately. Tutanota, Bitwarden. Some of these tools are free or have very affordable models that you could just kind of package with a VPN, and you don't necessarily need to put all your eggs into one basket. That's more of my approach now that I have been thinking of. And I think that makes sense for you guys. I've been testing out some antiviruses and stuff like that, and that kind of shifted my approach into thinking a lot of these products can kind of actually be more annoying than helpful. And that's kind of why I started rethinking, how I rate VPNs as a whole. And that's kind of why Hideme has taken such a good kind of control of the tier list, have risen up, is because this reorganization of the ranking system. We also see Proton doing very well. Nord and Surfshark are still doing well, but they just got hit a little bit due to some of those things like I was talking about. Additionally, we also saw other VPNs out there like Torguard and some of these other VPNs kind of stagnate, do shady things with me, cut me out from their program. I don't even think you could post in their forum anymore. So I kind of had to rethink of how, my relationship with some of those VPNs and what I think about them and how they rated on the tier list, and kind of think about how the tier list should promote the best ethical VPNs and, the ones that are really trying to do good by my community and make a good product as well. So guys, those are my final thoughts. I do believe that's why WeVPN or Hideme could become the new WeVPN in a good way, not in a bad way. The bonus here compared to WeVPN is Hideme has been around for a long time. They've actually been around just as long as pretty much any other VPN. and they have a very clean track record. It's a VPN that has no history of leaking logs. It's one of the first VPNs to be audited, and it's a very ethically driven VPN with no trackers on the website, clean privacy policies, and things like that. Stay tuned for more full reviews of Hideme in the future. Let me know down in the comments down below what you think of this video, and I'll see you again very soon.